People. Que pasa, suck, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. This is not your average, typical mama and papa missionary blogging channel. No, this is blogging that takes you on top of the roof or under the cellar with mother hen and our little chickadees. The circus known as the Wandan sentencing is off to a jaw-dropping, mind-boggling what the FUCK starts. Because based on what is transpiring in the courtroom, this has to be some sorts of joke. This has to be some sorts of Cartoon Network-ish. In part one of the circus, we saw the main character, Mr. Andre Blackman, playing himself as the prison prophet, philosopher, preacher and jailhouse lawyer, mixed with some sorts of naturalized Bellevue citizen. Because people are wonder, this man must lick him head. This man must have been smoking some sorts of seasoned spliff or some sorts of spliff that is laced with lizard tail. In part two of the circus, it seems as if when Blackman went back to his cell, him hear the people him a chuckle. Or maybe his lawyer spoke some sorts of sense in him head. Because definitely we saw that there was a change of heart. There was a change of stance. We saw what seems to be some sorts of confession by the Don himself. And even trying to pardon the rest of his co-conspirators / co-convicts. We saw that the number one came into play. One Don, one God, one destiny, one destination doom. We should hear Judge 100 giving him at least 100 years. Judge 100 looking over his glasses and fling the hammer and give him one ras lick in him BBC head for this type of buffoonery. And just when we thought that this circus could not get any sorts of more mind-boggling or jaw-dropping, it seems as if the lawyer for Mumma is painting a perfect picture like Picasso of this lady as a rejected wife, a suffering mom. This has to be some sorts of cartoon like me say, Sylvester and Tweety Bird, this is suffering succotash. People, these people are too hilarious. The court system and justice system just went 100 years back in a time, back a cow. Now, when we listen to Blackman and we listen to the lawyer or the lawyers for Blackman and also Mumma, we cannot really blame the lawyers because the lawyers are supposed to do what their clients instruct them to do, even when it makes absolutely no sorts of sense. And we saw that it seems as if Andre Blackman thought that he could be a better representation of himself than him lawyer. It seems as if him put the lawyer upon pause. And then eventually the lawyer seems to have talked some sorts of sense in him head. When we hear a lawyer for Mumma come out now and I say, she's a rejected wife and a suffering mom, it sounds completely polar opposite to what the evidence says, the evidence prove. Because these are a set of extortionists that was getting money from all sorts of people, even people at the market, taximan, busman. So therefore, they was not poor. They was making buku cash from illicit means by brute force, even through DEATH. So when we hear Mr. Blackman a quote from the Bible, even though he was mixing up the verses, some sorts of remix, madman style, and then we hear all of the tapes, we know the intricate details based on the fact that we've been following the case, based on the fact that the person that is presiding, Judge Sykes, knows the intricate details, all the evidence, all the conviction, all of the cases, everything. Him can quote it from A to Z. So therefore, I don't know if this is some sort of court of public opinion that they are targeting, or if it is their own cronies, if it is they are trying to make some sort of impression as if, listen, do what I do when you go to court and maybe you might get off, or maybe you might get 100 years. Because I find this very insulting the intelligence of the people of Jamaica and even more the court and justice system, taking it for a joke, insulting the education and wiseness, if there's such a thing, of the judge, Mr. Judge Sykes. Now I know that a lot of persons don't agree with everything that this judge do. He is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But me just say, when we look at the overwhelming evidence of this case, when we hear all these voice notes and videos implicating Andre Blackman as the Don, the one Don, we have to wonder, how is it that these characters feel as if they should get any sorts of leniency, when at worst they have not shown any sorts of remorse for the victims. They have never apologized to the family, the victims that they have extorted for a decade or so, the lives that they have taken away, the persons that have got hurt. So therefore, like the Bible says, since he wants to quote from the Bible, there will be no sorts of mercy for the merciless. What this case and these characters show, most importantly, is that they are definitely some sorts of psychopath, because they are trying to twist and turn the evidence and make it seem as if they are victim. They were victimized when all along they were doing all of these criminal activities. Now them get catch, and now them realize that they are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Indirectly, they are seeking mercy. Indirectly, they are now quoting from the Bible, when remember, Mumma is supposed to be some sort of church lady or pastor or preacher. But we realize that this is the heights of hypocrisy. They quote from the Bible when it is convenient. However, the lifestyle that they were living was polar opposite. That means them never practice what they were preaching. Now them a beg and a preach and I look for mercy. We hope that the people of Jamaica and the justice system can move forward after this, because this case has sent the justice system, the court system, the judges, the prosecutor 100 years back. One as in one done, one order, point blank and period. Around in the news and continuing on the theme of cartoon character, criminal character. A set of men, two young men, on some sort of bike or bicycle, decide that they are going on some sort of crime spree. They targeted some sort of minibus close to ferry. Packed minibus with people going about their business in the prime time hour. However, it seems as if when them pull up on the bus and the people them never comply, them start blaze up all sorts of can to send some sorts of message. But it seems as if they were too close for comfort to sum up their target, meaning some minibus conductor seems to have some sorts of gangsterism in them. The two men were eventually disarmed. One of them get caught up, couple of people in the bus get caught up also, at least one I am sure. One runway, police hold on, both of them I think are at least one. Based on the video, because of YouTube's policy, I am not going to play that video. However, I will tell you exactly what happened. Needless to say, this was wrong timing, wrong place for the criminal elements and even those that got injured. This took place close to the ferry Popo station. So therefore it seems as if the poor heard the commotion and rushed out upon the scene of the crime. They held on to the people just as the people in the bus and the passengers in the bus was going to give him the Tarzan and Jane type of justice. People, isn't it strange? If you call the poor emergency, it take them 2 hours, 10 hours. Next day, don't show up none at all. However, whenever people are supposed to get the right type of justice, them always seems to be there on spot right away to prevent the court to be held, meaning judge, jury, and the rest of the script. So anyways, one thing that I found very strange is that one of these thieves, after them catch him nonetheless with the tool, after he was one of the people who pull up on the bus with the bad man talk, nobody move, nobody get hurt. We want all goodies, we want all chain, we want all wallet, we want all anything of any sort of value. No PUSSY test like 6 bars. When him get hold, this is the excuse that he was given to the poor and the people, the mob that was kind of ANGRY that wanted to take him out of there had it not been for the intervention of the poor. Him a claim say the next man bad him up and threaten him. Say if him not do it, them a go take away or him a go take away him family. People, I am sure that this is not the first time you ever hear this. But what a lame, poor excuse for some sorts of gunman or some sorts of robber. However, them say, desperate times calls for a desperate measure. When you get catch, you might say just about anything, even if it makes any sorts of sense. None at all. So this man a claim, say the next man hold him and tell him, say, listen, if you not go on this with me, then your family them I got DEADING. You ever hear anything like this? Moral of the story is that, like me always say, man a plan, God a wipe out. Whenever you leave your house and claim say, alright, me have a tool, me and my crony, me and my friend, I go stick up some people. Remember, the table can turn. Remember, the prey or the predator could easily become the prey. However, it is just a pity that them never eat them food. It is just a pity that the poor that see exactly what is going on in a Jamaica with all this crime. Well, I understand it is their professional duty for pretty much save that person, even when that person is caught with his hand in the cookie jar or him hand on the tool or him hand in a crime that just happened. In a couple of seconds ago. Them can't turn a blind eye and Indicom cannot come and turn a blind eye. We kind of understand that. So people, here's the thing. It seems as if we have to move a little bit faster. Don't wait till the poor come, then you know want to take with these people. Do what you have to do as soon as you get the chance. Because like I've always said, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So therefore, whole court, make it be that impression. Meaning, be the judge, the jury, and you know exactly what else. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, it is called Thief. The biggest 2-foot puss, the biggest hyenas in the history of Jamaica. Your politician, your members of parliament, your parliamentarians, they are at it once again. We know that there was some controversy with their pay scale, in which most of them receive pay scale upwards of 200, even 300%, including your PM. Well, people, they are back at it once again. They are saying that each time that they go to a meeting and get a stipend that was 53,000, that stipend is now going to be increased to 148,000 per meeting. So people, I don't know if you add that to the salary. So therefore, they are getting this money each time that they go to a meeting. This meeting is probably an hour, 2 hours at best. So therefore, them want to make 148,000 each time they go to a meeting on top of the robbery salary that they are already getting in excess of 200 to 300%. However, it seems as if Peter Bunting, who is the opposition side, meaning the PNP, is objecting to it and said that under the present climate and condition of Jamaica, wherein public sector workers, meaning popo, teachers, nurses, doctors, cannot get any sorts of pay increase, it is unconscionable for these people to want to get more money again. But people, remember, who are the rule makers, who are the lawmakers, so therefore it is always going to be a conflict of interest that is always going to serve the interest of those criminals that are running Jamaica. So people, on top of the salary, them now want more money each time that they go to any sorts of meeting. At least 280% increase or 200%. You do the maths. Let me know in the comment section. People, these people are some pieces of SHIT. Jamaica gone, 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 gone. Can never come back unless there's some sort of external intervention, meaning people from America, UK, to stop these criminals that are running Jamaica underdog, point blank and period. Further on in the news, it seems as if the epicenter of smuggling weed in Jamaica, which is St. Elizabeth's, Black River to be specific, was the scene of an ex-BUST. Based on the information, it is said that the Coast Guard was doing their random surveillance when them buck up on a vessel. When them look on the vessel as some little man look kind of Spanish. So them man say, hold on a minute, them man look Jamaican. Them man look like them from some sorts of outer. Upon further surveillance, jump on the boat and start search. The man them a act bummy. When them search the vehicle, the vessel, them find some stuff that look like vegetable matter packed neatly in a some sorts of coffee bag, in a some sorts of canvas bag, in a some sorts of block form. When them investigate or bust one of them and check, it was actually weed. Needless to say, the hickety-stickety was seized and the men were taken into custody. And those men, more than likely, is going to be let out very, very soon. Them will get some sort of lawyer. Them will talk to the arresting officer. The arresting officers, more than likely, are going to take a piece of food. And these people are going to be sent back home. And all of the evidence, meaning all of those duffel bags filled with weed, will end up back on the street in Jamaica to be recycled to a next set of smuggler, going to a next set of destination. So you might ask yourself, as the average well-thinking Jamaican, then I saw them like a Spanish man, Nicaraguan, fool, that them come at Jamaica and them dip on them own ship. Where them not get some Jamaican for front it, people, here's the thing. You and I, as Jamaican, know say you can't trust Jamaican. So maybe the people them foot get BRUK before, and like them say, once bitten, twice shy. So therefore, them not take no sorts of check. I am not going to say that no Jamaican was there. However, them send the people them from over so to monitor the stuff, because them know say you can't trust them 2-foot post Jamaican hyena. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like this, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.